All right, just jumping over to the L5 really quick. Obviously, it has lesser specs, I should say, than the L7. And it kind of shows already when you're just looking at the phone. It is a 4-inch display. It's a 4-inch display, true color IPS, also with a WVGA display. So kind of in the hand, it feels a little bit more like the plasticky feel rather than the matted back of the L7. It is a lot smaller though, so you can grip it very well. Those 0.3 inches rather really make a difference here, and it's definitely a pocketable phone, something that'll fit in pretty much any pocket you have. And it gets only smaller from there, from the L3. That being said though, there are differences in the internals on the L5. A 1 GHz MediaTek single-core processor is powered by a PowerVR SGX 531 for graphics. Other than that, there's a 5-megapixel camera on the back instead, and the battery is brought down to 1700 milliamp hours. Nonetheless, it is a small, like I said, there seems to be a nice sturdiness to these phones, so you can really bounce this thing around and you're probably not going to have any problems. So that is the L5 by LG. And finally, we have the Optimus L3 This is a bit of a special version of it though, and I wanted to make sure to cover this one. The L5 and the L3 do have versions that are dual SIM capable. There's actually a button right here to be able to switch between the two SIMs. So we're just going to take a look here. First of all, obviously, we're dealing with a very small 3.2-inch display. Again, an IPS display, just like the other two, and it's very small. This one has the matted back, so I'm not too sure what happened with the L5. But anyway, it feels really small in the hand. There's no other way to say it. But nonetheless, it does still feel sturdy, just like the other two phones. And to be honest, one of the nice things about this phone is the fact that the performance actually seems to be quite good. It always keeps going back to the movie there. So you are getting Jelly Bean 4.1 on all of these devices, so that Project Butter is definitely showing here. It's all buttery smooth, still really nice. I could see this being a pretty popular phone with people who actually really like just small displays. They're not looking for anything too special out of their phones, they just want it to work. This is definitely a device that just works. That being said, underneath the screen there is a 1 gigahertz single-core MediaTek processor, just like in the L5. A 3-megapixel camera this time, so 3 and then 5 on the 5. And there is a micro SD card slot in here, so this is able to have expandable memory. Those are some of the few specs that are available now. Of course, there's also a 1540 milliamp battery inside, so there is going to be quite a bit of life inside of this little this little guy right here. So that being said, these are the 3 L2 phones by LG. This is the L series. Very, very interesting to know that there are dual SIM capability inside of the L3 and the L5. So for those of you that look for that kind of functionality, LG has given you a couple of choices there. So thank you very much, everybody. This has been Joshua Vergara, Android Authority. We're coming to you live from the Mobile World Congress. It is our last day here, so we're trying to get as much done as we can. And stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for all of our following coverage.